Jobs in maritime include being a general purpose deckhand, officer of the watch, marine engine driver and marine rescue crewman. As a competitive swimmer, Michaela always loved the water. This helped to spark her interest in sailing, and with a love of travelling, a career in maritime seemed like an obvious choice for her. Initially, however, Michaela took a different path, becoming a registered nurse. As one of Australia's first and only full-time female helicopter rescue crewmen, Michaela managed to find a way to combine her work helping people with her love of the water. This was not an easy road, with Michaela completing a number of qualifications, including maritime qualifications, along with adding to her nursing qualification. Today, Michaela is co-director and consultant for emergency response and maritime training, and in this role is helping to train future rescue crewmen, but still finds there is an imbalance of the sexes. Living in Airlie Beach, one of the gateways to the Whitsunday Islands in Queensland, Michaela loves what she does and hopes that in the not too distant future, more young women will discover how fantastic working in maritime can be. In aviation, you can work in 4 principal areas: general aviation, regional airlines, domestic airlines and international airlines. The aviation industry in Australia and the Asia Pacific region is continuing to develop and expand. Some of the occupations in aviation include air traffic controller, baggage handler, general airport services, check-in staff and aeroplane and helicopter pilots. A part-time job at McDonald's looking after ordering and inventory raised Annette's awareness of the T&L industry. After completing her studies in mid-2000, she worked with Australia's largest helicopter company, and by 2004, Annette moved across the world to Aberdeen, Scotland, where she is now the Operational Support Manager for Europe and Africa for Heli-One. With a Bachelor of Business in Operations and Logistics from the University of South Australia, Annette never anticipated leaving Australia, but wouldn't change it for the world, being able to travel all over Europe, Africa and even across to Canada as part of her job. Annette's advice for young women is to carefully consider careers in the T&L industry, as it's growing and has many different areas to consider that are both challenging and rewarding. Are you a train enthusiast? The Australian Rail Network is one to be proud of. It's the world's most efficient heavy-haul freight network. Rail transport is comprised of freight and passenger services, suburban railway transport services, railway station and terminal operations, and container terminal operations. Jobs in rail include working in infrastructure maintenance, or being a station attendant, signaller, or train driver. Having started her career in accounting, few people would have guessed that 29-year-old Rebecca would have made the dramatic change to train driving. After losing her position when Ansett closed its doors, Rebecca saw an opportunity to try something new and different. Unfortunately, due to her accounting qualification, Rebecca found herself being placed in other accounting positions, which left little room to move. It was at this point that fate stepped in, and after taking a position at Connex in Melbourne in their accounts department, she became exposed to an exciting industry that she had never previously considered. After some investigation, she decided to become a train driver. Rebecca enjoys the flexibility of her working hours and that she now never has to take work home with her. The logistics sector moves, stores and handles freight from start point to end point. It's about balancing the movement and storage of stock while meeting demand, minimising total costs and maximising efficiency. Logistics is like a travel agency for freight. Some occupations in this sector are customs broking, freight forwarding, or being a logistics manager. Who would have thought that a box in the corner of your classroom could decide a career? Well, for Amanda, it was just that opened her eyes to the dynamic industry of T&L. It was during a presentation by a university professor who explained to Amanda's class the various processes the box had gone through in the T&L industry to get there that day, that Amanda finally found something she was interested in learning more about. Amanda went on to complete a Bachelor of Business in Transport and Logistics Management at RMIT in Melbourne, and now works as the Business Improvement Manager for Toll Solutions. Amanda loves her job, helping organisations create solutions to their logistics problems. One of the best things that Amanda has found about the T&L industry is that the variety means there is no set pathway, but many opportunities to grow in various directions. So what's T&L got to do with you? You may think all of this has nothing to do with you. However, T&L is part of the process of getting any products you purchase to the shop in order for you to purchase them. Basically, a supply chain looks like this. The logistician, represented by the computer at the top, will work out which methods of transport, whether it be by sea, air, rail or road, will be used to get the raw materials to the production plant for manufacture. From there, it will be transported using one of those 4 methods to its destination, where the product will be stored in a warehouse, represented by the box at the bottom. Then another form of transport, usually road, is used to get the product to the shop in order for consumers such as yourselves to purchase. For example, the typical supply chain of a CD would be something like this. The CD is recorded in the studio. The master copy is then taken by road to be reproduced. Once this has happened, it is then distributed out to various locations, possibly by a combination of road and air. It is then stored in a warehouse until it is taken by road to the various shops where it will be sold to consumers. And there is a supply chain such as this for every single product you can imagine, from clothes to milk. T&L is how it gets to you. If you would like more information about the variety of career opportunities in the T&L industry and the training that's available, please visit the following website: www.tdtaustralia.com, www.transportal.com.au, or the New Apprenticeships website at www.najobpathways.com.au. Thank you to all the girls who took part in the project and offered their time and stories. It is greatly appreciated. This DVD has been brought to you by TDT Australia, the Industry Skills Council for Transport and Logistics, and the Department of Education, Science and Training.